Hello and welcome everyone. We are here on the evening of 16th of January in 2023. I'm Sharon Martin from Inner Sanctum Studios. I'm a messenger for Gaia, and if you find this information interesting, please do like and subscribe to the channel. So much going on energetically, and very, very intense, and a lot of people will be feeling very kind of, well, thrashed about, really. Very, very strong. Hi, Stacey. Hi, welcome. Yes, so the best advice is to be so present with what is in the moment so that you can move your way through everything that you are experiencing one breath at a time. So these intense energies, they're shifting us massively in many directions. It's all over the show that we're feeling these energies come in. And, we're going to be in this kind of energetic intensity and up-leveling for increasing, really, as we move up into the 22nd and then on, or in that and then onto it. So it feels to me that the 22nd is going to be a massive day for all of us, for the planet and for humanity, but we'll see. So I have notes here from the last 3 days, and I know that if you read my post, you will have that I did a couple of days ago, that the first little bit you will have already heard. So on the 14th, Gaia said we are in alignment energies. These energies are creating a focus and a pull to the higher heart, evoking dreamy qualities and thoughts of what each wishes to do in the world. So it's really been pulling us into our divine purpose and asking us to be more in our sensory feeling body in the moment. So what do you wish to do? And to be in very contemplative space in your mind. And what are you not doing? What is it that you desire to be, become, create, that you're not doing? And what do you need to do to line up with that? So what goes against your highest desire? What is your contribution? What do you want to be having as your contribution to the world? So welcome Denise, and hello Carla and Jackie and Indigo and Jamie and Heather and Tina. So welcome. This advice. All right, let's see, Jackie. Let's see if I can give you the advice that you need. All righty. So I wrote in here, what do you wish for you to have as your contribution to humanity, to the world, and to the planet? And what a way to begin that is to ask, what brings you joy? What brings you pleasure? What brings you satisfaction? Because we'll be tied up in there, along with what is it that you do, that you engage in, that you fall into, where you lose track of time. So that's often an indicator as well. So these energies, they're creating this big shift in the magnetics. They're kind of pulling it and moving it around and up and down and stretching it out and popping on through in a break. And they are very, very much in this state of flux at the moment, although today there's a bit of gentleness. Gentleness in comparison to what we've had, it feels to me. So allowing this release of the old stabilizing modes of operating, creating a greater sense of lightness. That's what came through on the 14th, and flexibility and freedom. But it's kind of creating that by moving us about, by putting us on a wobble, by creating this unease, this I don't know where I am or how to stabilize. And so we have to surrender, we have to collapse into it. Um, yeah, this feeling of being less fixed and more fluid, because of having to, because of not being in control, this handing over the control that we have felt that probably it's a misnomer, but we've felt that we've had this control in our own energy system and maybe what's going on around us, and we're learning at the moment that we actually don't. What else? Oh yes. So a lot of fluid movement, a lot of floaty movement, a lot of reflective um, appreciation, and feeling very ungrounded. So, those toys with the weighted base, that's kind of the imagery I got. Those toys that little, the early toys for children where they knock them and they don't fall over, they move and then they drop back into center. It's that kind of experience. Um, and a lot of movement for truth, a lot of movement for alignment, and a lot of movement to new places, new situations, new relationships, new jobs, new geographics. So a lot of that is going to be occurring during this month. And so for me, it shows up that we are going to have this incredible clarity that comes, this deep truth that comes from within, this kind of, we might be somewhat surprised as we are, yeah, brought into just recognizing some aspects of self that maybe we've hidden away or that we haven't seen. And so all of this is coming up for us to have clarity and truth and to align with our divine purpose and mission so we can move on to the next thing. And yet it is as though timelines are shifting everywhere and everything's collapsing around us. There's no stability anywhere, and we are continuously seeking that stability. And how we find that stability is by being in the moment. So we collapse into that moment, this very now moment. So we're in training. That's what I believe. We're in training for being present. Hello, being me and Jamie and Charlotte. So we are in training for being present and for creating in the now as everything moves and shifts around us and within us, the micro and the macro. Try and make sense of that. It's very swirly, and I believe that this is all the purpose of it, is to bring us into absolute present moment, and it's really hard to make sense of it. So that is how we do it. We just come into each moment, excuse me. And so here today, we've got really humid weather. We had a bit of summer yesterday, and then today we've been on and off with that. And the weather around the world is still depositing a lot of water. So all this cleansing energy. So on the 15th, Gaia said, humanity upward tracking nicely. Many humans are having current experiences of feeling softer. Have you noticed that with the people around you? They're more flowing with their current experience. And this lack of resistance adds a significant component, is what Gaia is saying, to the ascension energy of the planet and of humanity through the lessening of a generally very strong energetic in the collective. So you can imagine balancing scales and just taking some of the weight off one side where the collective sits and allowing that to become lighter. So this invitation to each of us to spend time with our hearts each day and to be witnessing the flow. So if you watched the video I did the other day about this change in the energetic form of our hearts and the planet, Gaia was showing me that we can witness that flowing through both us as our center in our own field and in humanity as two infinity symbols, one moving left to right and one moving back to front. And you can play with that, whether you do one sequence and then the other, or whether you move to the left, to the front, to the right, to the back. Just see what feels right for you. Play around with it, with the in-breath and the out-breath. But there was definitely yesterday, even though there was a lot of change going on, there was a lot of calmness in the energy and in the physical world. That was what I felt. And in the general collective, there's this sense of knowing something. It's like something is up. Something is building, even if people don't know what. So the question is, for each of us, where do I place my focus? And so this is the choice point right now, and you can see it's just so blatantly obvious as you tune into the unawakened and as you tune into any mainstream news. Although there are leakings and little bits of information coming out that are beginning to show up some of what has gone on in our world in the past few years, it's beginning to be present. And so the question is, where are people going to place their focus? And so are they going to place it in that apocalyptic scenario, the doom and gloom? Here we are, we're headed down this road into being microchipped and micromanaged and exceptionally controlled with very little, with lots of choice about what we might do, but not really. Or are we going to rise above it with a higher vibration, creating our fifth dimensional world and frequency and unity and harmony to come into our fifth dimensional paradisical Edenic world? So that is our choice. So Gaia is saying, so this can be a catalyst to change or a collapse into this is our reality. And so we are being asked, of course, to create our own reality in each moment. And Gaia is saying, please encourage a rise above it attitude, a focus on where we want to be and what we want to experience. To those who are ready to listen, and this number has shifted in the past few days, Gaia said. So that was yesterday. She said this number has shifted, and you are likely to have already noticed this, that there is more openness and there are more receptive energies in your friends and family. So still huge numbers of people who, of course, are in the total focus is entirely in the 3D world, creating their own, reinforcing their own matrix in their physical world. And yet it is in that population, Gaia is saying, that we are witnessing the release of resistance and a movement into slightly dreamy, removed ways of going about their day. So these current energies are creating an environment for that. So I'd be interested to know if you've noticed that, and the people that you know who are maybe only just on the edges of awakening, or beginning to maybe have different conversations. So Gaia is saying, be still and know that you and your beautiful heart is filled with love. And act as this radiant light this illumined beacon and be this. Deliberately move your love out into your environment, into self, into the family, into your family, into the community, and into nature. And if you can view ascension with a little bit of a mathematical perspective at the moment, these balancing scales in the equation, we are receiving higher light and we are releasing density as humanity, as a species. And even many of those who are unaware are a part of this process, and therefore assisting in tipping the balance by releasing resistance. So yeah, I'm curious if you are, experiencing that or noticing that. Hello, Beachweave. Hello, Regina. So you are likely to feel these energies. So here in New Zealand, we're talking about yesterday's energies, but today are not that dissimilar. They're still intense, but they have more of an equilibrium about them as we recalibrate through the physical form. So this is our little opportunity for that. We go through those incredible, increasing vibrational frequencies of light and light codes coming in, and then we integrate those and embody them. And it's felt a little bit softer in the last couple of days. So continue your focus in present moment, creating your next moment reality, breath by breath. So this is all part of what I believe is our training, this training to come back here into present moment, into this breath, or into that breath, and into the moment. What is it that I want in this next moment? We are in such sped up energies. They're so quick that things can just happen like that. So all those who take self-responsibility will master these energies and move through the ascension process into higher dimensional feelings of love, harmony, bliss, unity, as well as into abundance and prosperity. Hello, Annie. So remember, there will still be many who are being triggered to release their wounds and trauma, have low levels of skills and resource to process, and they could get very angry. It is their responsibility, and you just send them love. Offer to help them if you see fit, if you see that they might be open to that. Even with GAIA saying a future offer, such as, like a gentle future offer. So if you'd like some help with that, give me a call, give me a shout. So that they can have permission to do some of their process and make that adjustment to then come back and see you, because in that moment they are not receptive to any kind of new way of operating. So you offer something that is non-threatening, that is open, that has neutrality, and that is a love-based offering from the heart. So as we are returning to our divine plan, organic blueprints, as humanity and as the planet, as all sentient beings, we're coming into, living from the higher, living from higher consciousness, from higher mind, from higher heart, and all of the other higher aspects. So in our physical bodies, of course, we've been going through these upgrades. We've gone through the upgrades really in the head, haven't we? We've gone in the physical chakras in the top part here, as well as we've had some activations in the sacral. We've had a lot of activations in the spine, and we've had some activations in the solar plexus as well. And I want to say that one of the things that you can attune to is be in dialogue with your digestive system, because the digestive system receives and digests everything that comes into the body. And that's not just food and nutrients, but that's thoughts and sounds as well. And so be in dialogue with those, and just be aware we've had crown chakra upgrades, third eye upgrades, we've been receiving audio upgrades, we've had more throat clearings, we've had higher heart activations, and the alignment of those to higher levels of consciousness. So today, when we came to this day, was interesting that the energies, I got really thrown into doubt, and I was processing it, and then I was chatting to a friend, and I didn't say anything, and then she started talking about how she was feeling, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's a match for how I'm feeling." And what I've recognised is that it links into the day. So we've been in this 6 universal day today on the 16th. So today I wrote um, doubt, put it in the effort bucket. It's the shadow aspect of this day. The shadow aspect of this day today is doubt. And so have you been having this experience, this doubt of who am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? Do I but really believe that what I believe is so, has truth, has substance? Where is, what is happening in my world? Where is my support? Is this whole connection to divinity a ruse? Is this whole journey a load of nonsense? Any and all of those things may have been running through your system, through your mind, through your thoughts today, as we're being swirled around in this really strong energy. And this is the shadow of doubt that's being released from the planet today. So more collective shadow being released from the planet, but in this very specific bandwidth of doubt, self-doubt, inner doubt, doubt about truth, doubt about the world, doubt about the situation, doubt about faith, about God, about divinity, about union, and yeah, about divinity itself. All of this doubt is being released so we can just drop into this deeper faith and deeper trust. And oh my God, honestly, how much depth do we have to experience? I do not know, but it goes higher and deeper all the time. So I wrote here, have you been experiencing that? And just let it move through you. So observe it as a sensory experience in the body. Watch it, feel it, observe the movement of it, and just don't judge it. Just kind of try and be a little bit detached from it and see the humor in it. So I wrote here, let it move through, observe, watch it meander, watch it circle, watch it ponder, watch it dip, and watch it rise and release, and then watch it as it dissipates, because that was my experience as I attuned to it and began to watch it. I could feel it, and when I went ding 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 ding, this is doubt, this is inner doubt, and then I went da 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 da, it's a 6 universal day, I wonder what this is about. And so then that was my kind of beginning point of unraveling, as I feel that a lot of us do. We get given something that we then enables us to unravel. So yeah, I was watching it and feeling it and noticing it, and it was moving, and I was, pretty crunchy, to be honest. I was very, very in that and noticing that I was grumpy and shitey and, oh, just let me get out of here. It's enough. I've done enough. I've done enough. I'm over it. This ongoing movement with all of these energies that are so challenging and what they bring up. And this is all the in the mind information that we process because that's our default. So when we kind of get into that wobble, we have to notice: are we using old paradigms? Are we in that? Oh, I'll process this through the head. I'll figure it out. I'll calculate it. I'll make sense of it through my intellectual being, through my highly cognitive functioning mind, and it's really is old paradigm. So we function by processing it through the body, by not doing anything with it but observe it, and we can feel it move, and we can see that it shifts and changes and might have intensity somewhere and not somewhere else, and then you might feel sharp pains or heat or swirling motions, and all that you do is observe it. And yes, I'll come back to that, Tina. But yes, being me, I've been doing this for years, more really university. Yes, I think many of us have been going through that because we just feel like we've been doing this for such a long time, but we've not had these energies here on the earth since either, well, maybe Atlantis, but possibly prior to that even. So Gaia, these beautiful cosmic rays of divine light continue to flood our earth and your bodies for transformation, to transform structures and systems and paradigms as the truth becomes more obvious and the people develop more clarity. For many, the truth will have to come from the same lips that delivered the lies. And so, this is in connection to how much or how little we decide to share with the people that we love and care for, is that they may not receive from us because we have maybe sat in a different camp to them for a while, and so their viewpoint may well be, well, you've probably got a different agenda, and show me the evidence, and the evidence that you might rake up to show might not be received. So it's that challenge to just be zipped up in the lips and allow them to find that information from other places. But it is starting to come out in mainstream. It's a little bit slow, but it is coming there. And yeah, I've just really noticed the softness in the collective, and in in my family and in other people. There's, even though they've not made a cognitive shift, they've made an energetic shift, and they are more open and more soft. So Tina's saying she read a paper from NASA that said they were controlling the weather and the frequencies, and the ascension symptoms we're feeling are the same. Yeah, it's clever manipulation, isn't it? And so we just have to know that our bodies have incredible technology, and to acknowledge them, to speak to our higher self, to speak to our body, to be lovingly holding our body, and notice the changes in your own internal structures and systems, and think about how incredibly high and fast these energies are, and that we are coping. And some days it might feel like we're only just coping, and some days it may feel like, well, this has gone on enough, but we are managing, and they are amazingly, incredibly quick and high, and transformative, this alchemization that's going on in our body from carbon to crystalline, this upgrading that's going on in our bodies into this higher level of consciousness, and this, especially the physical changing up forms through from the head to the heart. That's been massive, and we've got more to do. Who knows when that will occur, but we'll be in process with it. And we're in this this reconnection of DNA stranding, and so we're going through all of these processes in our own physical form, in our energetic form. The collective is doing that. The beings, the other sentient beings that are non-human, are doing it. All the animals, the incredible trees, all the elementals, they are becoming more visible, more in connection to us, with us, available to assist us. And so it serves us just to remember. And so it was interesting for me. I don't hit the skids very often, but I was like put it in the effort bucket. That was certainly what I was doing. I was really in that. It's enough. But not for me. It wasn't a physical thing. I know that for some people they're experiencing that in the physical, but for me it was just more in my emotional body. And then what will come next is, excuse me, it's this interesting idea of being in the experience of the quantum, where there are a whole lot of things coming into the same point, and so they'll kind of land, and it might not seem like they land in the same exact moment, but the lineal order of things, that's another construct that's really falling apart in this very physical, tangible way at the moment. And we are just being asked again to be the witness, to be the observer, to not attach too many things to it. All right. So any questions while I sit and feel if there's anything else to say? Hi, Melanie. Hi, Denise. Yes, Gaia does welcome the galactic visitors. There's been a few galactic visitors in the inner earth over the time that I have been in there. And of course, in the inner earth, we have at least two what I would call inner earth light cities, fifth dimensional light cities, Agartha and Talos. So they sit in there, and how I see it, I can only tell you how I see it, is that they sit adjacent. So if you're looking at Gaia here in this image, they're over here to this side. So Agartha is to this side. If you're facing Gaia, Agartha is here, and then Talos is a little bit further along. And so they are there, and there's been quite a few different galactics that have visited in the cave that I've met while I've been there. And Gaia said to me quite a long time ago that there were millions of spacecraft in observation mode here around the planet to observe this incredible process that we're going through, because no one has ever done that before. So there's been no species who has ever transmigrated. Really, that's what we're doing. Transmigrated from third dimensional form to fifth dimensional form whilst maintaining the physical form. So even though this is an upgrade of our light body, We're also upgrading in our physical form. We are not leaving our physical form with our soul or with our light body to move into fifth dimensional um, space experience and form. We are doing this in the body on the run, and so honestly, you're just doing amazingly and magnificently. You really, really are, and we just don't have too much more to process. It's just the same kind of processing, and once we've cleared a lot of our density out, then that's what's creating this resistance. It's the resistance that creates the friction. It's the resistance that creates the pain. And then if you go into story with it and with the pain, that's what creates the suffering. So my advice to you, for what it's worth, is to always be experiencing it through what is occurring in the body, the sensory experience, the physical experience, not making story of, oh, ascension is so hard, these ongoing pains, I've had enough of it. And even though I went into that a bit myself today, that's why I'm sharing that, because it did shift, and that was my process, and I wasn't in physical pain. I was just noticing these kind of feelings, this is enough, I'm sick of it, I'm peeved about it. Where are all the goodies, where are all the great things? But we're close to the tipping point, and so we just have to be working with what serves us best here. And so, yeah, be in dialogue with yourself, um, and speak lovingly to yourself, because you think about it, your body has already gone through a brain upgrade, an eye upgrade, an audio upgrade, increased, I was going to say revenue, increased energetic cycling and upgrading in the pituitary and the pineal and all the connections through there, with the eye upgrade and the third eye upgrade, throat upgrades, higher heart upgrades, and all of the integration of that. And it's massive. It's absolutely massive, and it's just, you give yourself credit for that. It's incredible and sensational, and so are you. So you just give yourself all that praise. You look yourself in the mirror, you look in your eyes, and you lovingly tell yourself, I love you. You're amazing. You're incredible. Look at what you've done. Thank you so much, body, for being the loving and cooperative component in this process, because you have been really incredible. And speak to yourself like that. We are in this interesting time, because this ascension process, all of that information that came about this higher cosmic heart formation and energetic formation of the heart and of the planet. We've done that. We're still spiraling up. The interesting thing for me is that the spiral of ascension, which is here. So this is the representation of the spiral of ascension, the flower of life, the DNA upgrades, and Gaia holding the ascension spiral for humanity at the same time as being in the planet. This whole process is, as we've climbed up the spiral, it's got faster, and so we're in this kind of very complex set of adjustments, but it's got faster. So we've got every molecule and particle in our world is spinning faster, and that's in our bodies as well. That's why we're hotter. That's why we're feeling that heat in our bodies. Our whole body temperature feels a bit warmer, because we've got this faster spin that's happening in our world. And so to me, the other aspect of it that shows up very strongly to me, and I want to say specifically in relation to ascension and really in relation to the divine masculine, is it's been showing up to me as this broad base spiral at the bottom, but getting narrower and narrower. And we're right at the top, or they are right at the top with it. And it's little short cycles and fast. Yeah. So let me say hello to Suzanne and Margaret and Dawn. And Dawn saying in her reality, seeing more and more kindness in people. Yeah, that's just lovely. That's really lovely. And you meet these new additions to our world, these these babies that have so much light, and they come with their already formed crystalline hearts, which we're in the movement to, and in these higher ways of operating and thinking. They already have skills that, in their sort of primary school years that we didn't develop till we were adults. And they come with very big picture ideas and a lot of light, and they are here to change our world, and so we are holding space for them as well. So it's really Gaia once showed me that how there would be, when we came to this time, there would be people whose contribution to ascension would be to go. Their contribution to ascension would be to leave the planet and take their dense body with them. And so there's a whole lot of ways in which people can feed into this ascension process and their contribution to self and to the world. The other information that sits so strongly with me is this build up to the 22nd. So I haven't even got to speaking to Gaia about that yet, but I just have this really strong feeling of the significance of it. So I will get some time, maybe tomorrow or tonight, to ask her about that. But there's a lot coming in around truth and around clarity, around alignment with divine mission and purpose, and this kind of sense of, if we were talking about the chessboard, for example, that it's like ready, steady, pause. There's really steady pause, and it's like just waiting for everyone to slide in. It's like that. It's waiting for everybody to slide in with the aha. That is what I have to do. So this pull, this push, this realignment, this recognition of truth and mission. Who am I? Where should I be? What do I feel drawn to do? How does that link? And what is going? It doesn't sit and fit and belong in my world anymore. All of this sort of crumbling away, but feels like it's crumbling away here, and we're moving here, and it's fast. And it's as though we might be like suspended here while we're waiting for everybody to get into their position. That's how it feels to me. And that on the 22nd, it's going to be like the start gun goes for the race, and everyone just goes quickly to where they're meant to be. It's that kind of feeling that I have for it and about it. So I'll tune into her. I have been kind of slapped around by the energies, but only just in terms of my tiredness. Really, I've just felt really, really tired until this morning, when I hit the wall about all the things that I'm not, and all of the the doubt. So sometimes we get taken through those things to recognize them and to be able to dissolve them, and sometimes we get given those things because they're part of our process. And yes, Beachwear, thank you. Yes, I do sell prints of Gaia, and my shop should be up and running. Um, well, we'll see. He promised me that my IT guy promised me that that would be happening this week. So Jackie's saying a mouth upgrade happening today. Lots of flare-ups and vanished as quick as it came. Oh, interesting. Haven't noticed that. I did notice upgrades in the back of the mouth, which I associated to the throat, and lots of release in the jaw because, you know, the jaw and the teeth and the gums hold anger, resentment, and rage, and these are all some of these negative emotions that we're releasing, and we're releasing them. Remember that we're releasing them from this lifetime, from past lifetimes, from our family lineages. With a lot of us have contracted to release those, so from the bloodlines, and we just have to do the best that we can with it. And so just try and sit in that beautiful gentleness with yourself. And thank you so much for being here and for being here on the planet. I know it probably sounds silly, but I get all choked up when I say that because it's incredibly significant what each of you do. In every moment, because your own deep inner work and process, it adds to the collective energetic, and that is very significant. It's very significant. It's, remember the idea of Gaia speaking about how we, the light workers, are the ball and the comet, and that, you know, in this work that we're doing, we're preparing to pull the tail through. So these are the unawakened or the just becoming awakened. Pull them through into this ascension, and then we'll be in the rebuild of our world. And so on the 22nd, every single planet in our galaxy, or in our, excuse my ignorance, I want to say local galaxy, maybe call it local galaxy, but in our galaxy goes direct. And I don't know how long ago it was, or when the last time was that every single planet was direct, but where every single planet goes direct on the 22nd through to the middle of April. All of that is going to help us come into moving forward. And of course, you know, this is what I love about this work that I do with Gaia. It kind of gets stamped by astrology. This whole idea of, you know, what we are releasing, and so this coming in, everything coming into forward motion or direct, it will help with communication, it will help with health, it will help with where we are in our hearts and in our purpose, it will help with people being pulled and guided into being in the right place, in the right relationship. And then, of course, when all of these twin connections come in, or these divine counterpart connections come in, there's this incredible of love, and that washes over the planet, and that is all part of our ascension motion or movement as well. So, you know, even if you like the long haul of the equation, we're going to be doing that sometime in the next, at least, you know, end of March, middle of April, and it could well happen before that. But we're just, you know, the shadows being released from our planet, and we are evidencing that, and the elemental aspects are being reinvigorated, re-enlivened. Our ability to connect with them is coming back online. We're starting to see who we are. And so, you know, that's going to become much clearer to each of us, who we are, where we come from, why we are here, who we're meant to be with, where we're meant to be living, what we're meant to be doing, and then the kind of, you know, thrusting and wherewithal to do it. So I send you so much gratitude for being here with me, and so much love from my heart as we move through these next few days. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Bye.